Yo, what is cracking? It is Offbeat in the hot seat on a Monday evening. I hope you're good. I've just noticed that I've left my little boop tag up from the stream I did on Friday, which was a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone who came along to that. I just basically played a bunch of my most inspirational storytelling raps that I've heard over the years that have like helped me kind of like shape my style in terms of telling stories and stuff. And I just sat and played them and had a couple of drinks, and it was really good fun. So big up everyone who came along to that. Hope you guys are good. Hope you have had a good weekend. Hope that you are not being too beaten down by lockdown and isolation and all the associated like strains that come with that. It really got put in perspective for me actually over the last couple of days, because like I've been struggling same as everyone else. Like it is mentally testing I'm just going to turn this chat window off actually a sec. Come on to the chat in a bit. It is mentally challenging and testing, and like it's frustrating, and it is like depressing not being able to see like people who you want to see when you want to see them and go to places that you want to go, and just having your freedom and your liberty like restricted is hard. But I saw a post from someone I know on social media who is a single mum and also runs her own business, and she was basically saying like she's sick of seeing people posting stuff like saying how productive they're being and how like useful the isolation is to be able to get on with work, because she's in this situation where she's essentially trapped trying to homeschool her young child and run a business at the same time with no support. Like I can't imagine how fucking difficult and stressful that would be. And it really put things in perspective for me. So when I was doing my journal this morning and I was doing my like 10 things that I'm grateful for that I've told you guys about already, that was one of the major things. And actually my list ended up being like 15 things long. It was longer than it's ever been, because I was just like, to be honest, as like relatively difficult as this situation is for me, and I'm not going to sort of like downplay the fact that it is challenging compared to other people, I've got it easy. And it just made me very grateful for the like stuff that I do have. So that was an interesting kind of insight that I had once I saw what someone else is going through compared to myself. Excuse me. But yeah, the thing I wanted to chat about today, and as I say, I'll turn the chat on later and we'll just have a normal chinwag, but like I like to do a little piece around something before that. And I don't know how many of you saw it, but on Saturday I sent out a link to a survey that I created with a little competition, and the competition prize is to win my entire back catalogue on CD and signed and sent to your door, with a nice little note as well. I always try and include that. But that would be People Watching 1, People Watching 2, King of the Swingers 1, King of the Swingers 2, my album, and I'm even going to chuck in the Swing Hoppers EPs 1 and 2 as well. So what's that? 7 things, I think. I'll even chuck in, I haven't even included this, but I'll even chuck in a physical copy of Least Worst Hits. Like all the songs that are on that are on the other things, but it's nice to have everything, isn't it? I'm a completionist. So I'm going to do that whole bundle, like 8 CDs, signed with a nice note, all packaged up, sent to your door. And all you've got to do to win that, or potentially win that, is to fill out a 5-question survey that I've created. And the link for that is iamoffbeat.com/survey. I'll include that in the comments of these streams. But the survey itself is basically around the supporters club that I've created. And what I said in the email that I sent out at the weekend is that I've been absolutely delighted with the people who have signed up so far. Like the engagement in the group and the input and the enthusiasm has been like, there's been nothing that's come close to it in terms of that level of engagement I've had from people before. It's been amazing. So thank you, big up to all the people that have signed up so far. But I've not had as many people sign up as I would have hoped. My early birds list had like over 70 people on it. And I've had just over 30 people sign up so far. So I was kind of hoping that I would have 70 people. And the reason that number 70 is so important to me is because that's how many people I need to actually like pay for the album, basically, to make it possible to create it. Otherwise, like, I'm losing money by making it. So I want like a minimum of 70 people, but ultimately I want to grow it more than that. So I thought, okay, I'll do a little survey and find out like why people haven't signed up so far. And obviously I'll give them a nice little sweetener because I don't expect people to spend their time filling out something for free. So I've created this little competition. But what has been really, really interesting has been some of the feedback that's come from that. And as you guys know, I've shared before, I'm part of like a business coaching group that I belong to, and each month we get together. This month we'll be doing it over Zoom, but we talk about our businesses and stuff. And one of the things that they always say is how important feedback is, because you don't know what you don't know, and you can assume something, but A, you might be wrong, and B, even if you're not, it's good to have that confirmed, because until it is confirmed, it is just your own opinion. But also, there might be stuff that you haven't even thought of that is the reason why people are behaving the way they are. So I'm going to share 3 of the like big things that I've learned from doing this survey so far. And as I say, I'm going to I haven't said this actually. I am going to leave the competition running until Wednesday because there's probably lots of people who didn't see that link the first time around. I didn't send out one of my annoying, my email service says that you didn't get this emails. I've stuck to just doing one email now. So if you missed it the first time, you might want to catch the link, imoffbeat.com/survey. But yeah, I'm going to share the 3 things that I've learned from that, which have been invaluable. Like it's been worth doing just to learn these 3 things. So my main assumption why people weren't signing up was because people are worried about money at the moment with the pandemic, and you know lots of people are off work, or they're worried about their jobs, or they don't want to spend money unnecessarily. Totally understandable. So that was one of the questions, was like, how come you haven't signed up? And there's a few options, and that's one of them. Almost no one has picked that, which is amazing, because I just assumed that would be the number one reason, but almost no one has picked that. So number one, that's my first finding, is that it's not what I assumed. I assumed it would be people worried about money, and it isn't. So that's good to know. And it's definitely good to have that confirmed with data from real people. Number 2, this wasn't an assumption, but this was something I learned. The main reason people haven't signed up is because they don't feel they've got the time to commit to coming to the live streams each week, which is really interesting because that isn't something I'd even considered. Like to me, I mean, I'm doing the live streams, so obviously I've got time to do them. But like to me, 1 hour a week isn't a lot of time. But for some people it is. And also, something I didn't really take into account was that people are dotted all over the world. And so if I'm doing them at sort of like 6 or 7 p.m. UK time, there'll be some people who just can't make that. And, you know, being able to watch the streams back and being able to get all the content isn't enough for them. And it's not good enough value for money to pay £5 a month but not be able to participate and be part of it. So that was huge for me, because I just, like I say, I assumed it was one thing. I assumed it was the fact that people were worried about money. It didn't even occur to me that it would be a time issue and that people didn't have the time to do it. And that is what it is. That's the main reason. Like the vast majority of people stated that that's why they haven't signed up, is they think it's a great idea, they think it's good value for money, but they haven't got the time, or it's not at a time that is suitable for them. So really, really useful. And then the third thing was, I've had a few messages and comments from people saying, oh, I don't have Facebook. And even people who have signed up saying, I haven't got Facebook. Do I have to get a Facebook account to join the group? And my assumption, again, an assumption, was that like most people had Facebook, even if it's not people's like primary social media like site that they use. I assumed most people had an account, but a lot of people don't. And as I say, I've had quite a few messages, quite a few comments from people saying, oh, I don't even have a Facebook account. Is there any other thing you can do? And so I was like, okay, maybe that's another obstacle for people. Maybe that's another reason people aren't signing up, is because they haven't got Facebook, or they don't want to use Facebook. So that was another question that I included, and I said, is the fact that it's on Facebook a reason for you not doing it? And if so, what is the platform you prefer? And it's about 60-40 at the moment. About 60% of people have said Facebook's fine, and about 40% of people have said other platforms. But there isn't really another one that's like unanimous or like is the majority that people have chosen. Like people have said all sorts of different things. So that's interesting, but it also confirms what I assumed, which is Facebook is actually still the most generic and most used platform by the largest number of people. even though there's like 40% of people who would rather not use it, there's still 60% of people who would. So that's still the majority. And the thing with this program and with anything is you can't please everyone. There isn't, like, even if I put it on multiple platforms, I might convert a few more people, but it doesn't mean that like suddenly those 40% of other people are going to sign up, because for the issues mentioned before, the time, mainly the time, because as I say, the money's not really an issue, so people are saying. So that is why it's so important to ask for feedback and to actually get feedback rather than just assume your own thing. Because if I'd listened to people's comments and messages, I might have assumed that like everyone didn't want to use Facebook and that was the vast majority of people, but it isn't. And statistically it isn't, because that's what my data and my feedback is telling me. So just to run through those again, the first assumption was that people like were worried about money because of the pandemic. Not true. Second learning was that actually the real reason is that people don't have the time, and my assumption was that people would, and they don't. And the third thing was confirmation that I thought Facebook was the best platform to put everyone in a group, and even though it's by no way like unanimous, that is still the case. That was confirmed by the data. So 3 really like valuable, useful things, and definitely, as far as I'm concerned, worth giving away a bundle of stuff for. So I just thought I'd share that with you because I'm fascinated by this shit, and I know that again not everyone is, and that there's times where I talk about like marketing and business stuff, and people are like, yeah, just say like funny things over electro swing, that's why we follow you. So yeah, some of this stuff is going to be irrelevant to people, but it's something I'm interested in and it's something I want to share, and some people out there might be like, that is interesting. So there you go. I'm going to turn the chat on in a minute and we can just talk normally for a bit, but just one last time, I'm going to leave that survey open until Wednesday. If you haven't had a chance to fill it out yet and you do want to win or be in with a chance of winning that prize, which is the bundle of the 8 CDs, all signed and with a nice note and sent to your door, the link is iamoffbeat.com/survey, and that will just take you to a Google form. You can fill it out, and as long as you do that before Wednesday, I'm going to pick a winner on Wednesday, and someone will receive that bundle of lovely things. So that's it. Oh, one last thing. If you haven't filled it out yet and you are gonna, please try not to be influenced by what I've said. If the real reason you haven't signed up is because you're worried about money because of the pandemic, please put that. Like, just because I've received some data already, again, doesn't mean that that's set in stone. That's just the case for the number of people that have signed up so far. Not signed up, that have filled it out so far. If like 1,000 more people fill it out, that could totally skew the data. But like the most important thing is that it's honest. So if you haven't filled it out yet and you're gonna, please try not to be influenced by what I've said tonight about other people. And with that, I'm going to turn the chat on. So 1 second. Boop. There we go. Nice one. So Deralia says, hola Deralia, good to see you, mate. Thank you very much. Restream says, congratulations, you've received 100 messages today. Thanks, Restream. Twig says, hope things are positive, and I'm a head out though, best wishes. Cool, man, nice one. I can see there's 8 people watching, but no one chatting. So I don't know whether that is because you're just not chatting, or because Restream isn't working properly. So I am going to jump on Facebook and jump on YouTube directly and just see, because I've been having issues with Restream recently, and even when I went into it today there was an error message, so it may be messing up. But an easy quick way actually is, if you're watching and you're chatting, can you type something in the thing now? Just say hi or yo or sup, and see if it comes up in the chat window, because that will let me know basically if it's working or not. Here we go. Cool. Robbie says hi, and Deralia says, I was quiet because you weren't finished talking. All good. Nice one, guys. Thank you for confirming that. I am going to just dive on the live anyway. Oh, you're chatting, can you type something in the thing now? Just say hi. It's a little bit behind. Yeah, cool. Okay, sweet. I think it is working then. Just everyone was just being polite and let me finish speaking. All good. Nice one. So Robbie says hi. Sup, Robbie? Good to see you, mate. Deralia says quiet because I haven't finished talking up. Stucky Y says, hey, what's up? What's up, Stucky Y? Thank you for coming along. Good to see you, mate. How are you guys doing? How's everyone getting on? How was everyone's weekend with the current situation being stuck inside? Was it business as usual? Would you have normally stayed in and just kind of like chilled and played games and watched movies and stuff? Or were you climbing the walls because weekend is when you go out and you wanted to go to the pub or you wanted to go and see your mates and you couldn't? How did you find it? I'm really lucky because I live with one person and he's like a very good friend of mine. So firstly, we're not driving each other crazy yet, which is a blessing. But also I would see this guy anyway and do quite a lot of the stuff that we're doing anyway, like playing games and watching movies and stuff. So I'm really grateful because like I think if I was living by myself, I'd really struggle. So yeah. Andreas, what's up? Says, hi, I was just waiting until you were done. Personally, I signed up knowing I won't have the time watching all the live streams due to work, but it's still a fun and interesting project to follow and support. Big up, man. Thank you. And yeah, like there will be people like yourself who are just such like hardcore supporters that even if you can't make it to every stream, you're still going to think that it's good enough value for money to be part of anyway, or just because you want to support me. And like, I wish everyone was like that, mate. And thank you very much. Sadly, not everyone is. And just not everyone's as like invested either. You know, there are artists that I would pay £5 to, even if I couldn't go to their streams, just because I think it's a cool idea and I want to support them. There are other artists I wouldn't, and there are other people who would do the same, but if you swap the artists around, you know, they would support one, they wouldn't support the other. So, like, I wish everyone was like that, and I wish everyone had that same mentality. But sadly, you know, for some people, they're not that invested, or £5 is a lot of money, and if they're going to spend it, they need to make sure they're getting like 100% of like what's on offer to make it worth their while. And I get it, that's cool. What I need to do is just reach more people and try and get more people in, basically, and that's part and parcel of the business like coaching that I'm doing is going to be around marketing and trying to like reach more people. I sent, actually, what's interesting, I sent that Crapocalypse video to like a ton of pages, like big pages, like Lad Bible and Unilad and like British Banter page and stuff, like all these pages with like hundreds of thousands of likes. And it hasn't been picked up yet, but someone did comment on YouTube saying, can I share this on my Facebook page? And I spoke to him, and he runs a load of those types of pages. He's got like 40 pages that all have like 50,000 likes on them and stuff like that. And he's posted it on some of them, and I've seen like an influx of likes. Like my likes on my page have gone up quite a bit, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to like convert into like followers or people who are into my stuff enough to want to like join the supporters club and be part of this journey. It's sort of like it's a very kind of like, well, it's like a funnel basically. Like you start off with like, you could put like 1 million people in at the top, and by the time like people have listened to more of my stuff and gone, actually this isn't for me. Oh, I quite like that song about toilet paper, or I quite like that song about hipsters, but actually all this swing stuff's a bit weird, or oh, this one's a bit slow, or that guy's just really annoying because all he does is live stream all the time and send me emails saying I haven't opened my emails. Like gradually, bit by bit, I'm going to sort of like disqualify people so that only a tiny percentage of the people who go in at the top are going to be left, and they're like my hardcore fans who will support me. So it means that I need to put lots of people in at the top in order to get like a decent number of people out at the bottom who are like really invested in what I do, but they're the ones who are like the hardcore fans who will support me, and like Andreas, even if they can't make it to everything I do, will still be part and parcel of it. Sue Duralius says, I'm managing. I focused a bit more on stuff for my hobby. Awesome. What is your hobby, Duralius? I think it's a really important time to be doing that sort of stuff. You can see in the background there, I can never, because the screen is like in reverse, I can never work out where to point stuff when I'm trying. There we go. You can see in the background there's a mic. Well, it's my mic, it's the mic I use for recording. Is there because I've been doing some more stuff this weekend as well. And yeah, it is a great opportunity to just like pick up all your passion projects and stuff. Stucky says, same here, we did some grilling with 2 meter distance. Nice. Grilling as in like barbecue. Sweet, if you did. Robbie says, found out today that I will be working from home from Wednesday. Okay, nice. Did my shopping on Saturday and binged The Mandalorian on Sunday. Sweet. Was it any good? I've seen that you can get the 1 week free trial on Disney Plus. So we're kind of tempted. But me and my flatmate discovered Red Dwarf is on Netflix. So we started watching that the other day and then we were like, fuck, I forgot how good this is. And now we're going to just session that, I think. And there's like 12 seasons of it or something. So probably be a while till we get around to it, but I have heard The Mandalorian is good and I am intrigued. How do you feel about working from home, Robbie? Are you happy about that or are you not looking forward to it? I know people feel differently about it. I don't mind working from home myself, but I guess it's all about choice, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's fine to work from home if you want to. If you're forced to, it's a different story. Gustav Janison says, sorry I'm late. Not a problem, mate. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Better late than never. Derelius said, do the people who are already supporters need to fill in the survey too? No, I should have mentioned that. Anyone who is already a supporter automatically goes into the hat. It won't be a real hat this time because I've already got quite a few people who have entered, so I'll do it like there are websites where you can put in names and it will pick one out of the hat. Oh, that looks interesting. Andreas, I see Cropocalypse has been shared a bit on Facebook between Norwegian people, mainly because people got a bit mad when we shot down almost 3 weeks ago and raided the shelves for toilet paper and yeast. Oh, cool, man. That's the thing about Facebook. It doesn't tell you when your video gets shared, especially if someone like downloads the video and then uploads it themselves. So for all I know, it's had like 1 million hits, but like no one's tagged me in it, so I don't know. But that's cool. That's interesting that it's been shared in Norway. Perhaps you could send me a link to one of those videos, mate. I'd be very keen to see that and see who's sharing it. Doralia says, LARP is the hobby. Nice. I'm trying to learn a new language for it, and it's quite a lot of work. Okay. What language are you trying to learn? Is it like Elvish or something? What kind of LARPing are we talking? Robbie says, it's like old school Star Wars, much better than the awful films from Disney. That's what I've heard. Although, controversial, I keep seeing pictures of Baby Yoda. And everyone's like, I mean, this is a few weeks ago now, but when it first came out, everyone was like, oh my God, Baby Yoda's the cutest thing. This is so amazing. But like, and I don't know because I haven't seen it, but like, is that not just a bit like Jar Jar Binks? Like everyone hated Jar Jar Binks because it was like this cute Disneyfied bullshit. There was nothing to do with the real show, not the real show, with the real films. And then Baby Yoda comes out and is all like cute and like basically looks like he's been designed so that they can make cuddly toys of him and sell them. How is that different? Controversial question because I know people love Baby Yoda and people fucking hate Jar Jar Binks. But what is the difference? I'm genuinely intrigued to know your opinion. Robbie also says, I'm being forced to work from home, unfortunately. Ah, shit. Sorry to hear that, man, then in that case, if that's not your bag. Remind me what you do. You're IT, aren't you, for your company? Is that... I mean, I guess it's something you can do from home, but I would have thought, like, if your company that you work for has, like, big server rooms and stuff like that, you kind of need to be there, no? Don't know. Cool. All right. I might start wrapping this up soon because I have said my piece and the chat is not massively active. But I will obviously respond to any comments that come through. Deralia says the setting is medieval fantasy with some Inca and Maya stuff happening. Cool. And I'm trying to learn Hindi for a background reason for my character. Wow. Okay. That's a pretty exotic language. Because I'm assuming, Derelius, your native language is English, and it's not like, I don't know, if you speak English, you can pick up like European languages relatively or comparatively easily, like French and German and stuff like that. But I would have thought going from English to Hindi would be tough. So interesting. Stucky says, I'm happy to work in my work and not have to be at home to be all the time. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I got into working from home anyway before all this happened. So even when I was like, even before I started my business, I used to try and work from home as much as possible, just because you've got more freedom. But as I say, if you're not used to it, then I get that it can be tough and very like isolating. Dualia says nope, Dutch. Cool, but then my English is better than my Dutch. Really interesting. And Andrea says, I randomly see those videos, but I'll try and remember to send it to you if I see it again. Yeah, please do, man. Genuinely really intrigued. If there's like some Norwegian lad Bible sharing my shit, I'd love to know. Robbie says, I'm desktop support for Swansea Council. Need to be in work for hardware issues. Had 4 users in today and more tomorrow. Okay. Dualis, working from home before it was cool. I see what you did there. Yeah, exactly. I started setting this trend, mate. I was working from home way before Corona made it a thing. Cool. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to bounce. What am I doing? I'll be back on Wednesday. I'm going to announce the competition winner on Wednesday. And what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to stick the link actually on the screen because I can do that shit. So bear with me. It is iamoffbeat.com/survey. Boom. Oh, it's there. Make it nice and big. There we go. Bloop. iamoffbeat.com/survey. That'll take you to a form. It's 5 questions, piece of piss to fill out, and you can win copy of People Watching 1, copy of People Watching 2, copy of King of the Swingers 1, copy of King of the Swingers 2, copy of my album, copy of my least worst hits, copy of Swing Hoppers EP 1, and a copy of Swing Hoppers EP 2, all signed. Lovely little note, not hand delivered obviously, but delivered to your door. And I'll be picking out a winner on Wednesday. So supporters who are watching, we're going to be doing our private stream tomorrow, and I've made a very, very good start on the track. I've written 3 out of the 4 verses already, so this will be ready by tomorrow for you to preview the brand new song, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's going to be ace, and everyone else, I will catch you on Wednesday. So thank you very much for watching, and take care, and I will see you soon. Peace, guys.